I got 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting to order. If you would, look through the minutes from the past meeting and see if there's any additions or corrections need to be made. If not, I entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Taylor, motion to approve. Have a second. Second by Richard Johnson. Okay.
I see one thing I think we need to change. It says approved 200,000 by the colored mulch, when that just 100,000 instead of 200 on the back page. I thought it was 100.
On the back page under C, before you get to D, it says October meeting approved 200 by colored mulch. I think that needs to be 100. Does anybody see anything else? I've got a motion and a second. All in favor with that correction there, say aye. Motion carries. All right. We'll go on to move to number 4. Since Mr. Rivers is here, he's Trouser County Youth Football proposal. Mr. Rivers.
Can you hear me? Good. All right. Some of you know me. My name's Scott Rivers. I run the youth football program here in town. Me and the mayor were talking a week or so ago. Basically, I just have this dream in my head that I want to do for this community that's hopefully can last for years and years and years to come. Now, he put on here Trouser County Youth Football proposal. It's not just a youth football proposal. It is a community proposal. And when he sent me a link and showed me a plan that you guys have for the future, and my dream kind of coincides with that plan. So what I'd like to do, what I would like to see happen is the multi-purpose field in that drawing. I would like to say, hey, let's go ahead and hop on that and put some bleachers up, put a scoreboard up. And what we could do with that, there's a lot of things. We can use it for our youth football. And I told him, I was like, hey, if we can get this to happen, we can create a youth soccer league in this town. I would create it. I would run it, because I know that the growth in our community, we more than tripled our numbers just in football signups, and our youth are leaving Hartsville to go play soccer because we don't have it. We don't have nowhere to play it. I want to keep those kids here in this town, especially my kid. He's over there playing video games. I want to give him something to get off the couch and go outdoors and do it. Also, I've talked with a bunch of the guys that help with my program. There's a lot of kids out there that don't want to play tackle football just because it is a contact sport at such a young age. And me and him were talking, we want to create a flag football league that we can play in the spring. Also another reason to pull kids out and play. Now, another thing that we would want to go with that is a ticket booth for everybody who's going to come and watch, because we play Smith County, Gordonsville, Watertown, Clay County, Jackson County, Westmoreland, and then us. So we're going to have a lot of people traveling in. With that being said, a ticket booth / concession stand will also be able to use for T-ball. So they don't have to walk way over there to get their food. I know years ago that was supposedly the plan, but it fell through at that time. So there's a lot of resources that we can use, not only just for youth football. So I went out, and because Mayor said, hey, get some numbers together. Now, the guy that I talked to, he's out of right outside of Smithville area. He's a local guy. So about an hour from here, give or take. And he gave me a quote on the fencing, the lights, state-of-the-art bleachers, which would be concreted into the ground, a ticket booth, new bathrooms. Everything altogether was $350,000. That covered everything. Now, most of that cost was the bleachers. The bleachers of that were $260,000. So it could be cheaper if we went on a cheaper kind of bleacher, kind of like what we had set up at the baseball fields. I think that would be okay. I don't know that they would stand the test of time like these would. So like I said, I'm just a small part of this community, and this, I know it wouldn't happen overnight, but this would probably surpass my kids. It'd be for my kids' kids and probably generations to come that would be able to use this field. Like I said, we'd be able to play our junior football on there. We would be able to play soccer. I know there's an adult league that goes out there and plays. There's all kinds of things that we could do with this multi-purpose field. Now, as far as the funding, I would work on trying to get sponsors to sponsor a lot of this, if they could help us build this field. And we could name the field, just throwing a name out there. We could call it Wilson Bank and Trust Field or First National Bank Field or whatever. So that's my idea. That's my dream. Like I said, I know it's not an overnight project, but I would be willing to put in the hard work and do the footsteps to take the next step and get it rolling in the right direction. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yes, I have one. Are you talking about over at the T-ball field at the end of it going out towards the other?
Yes, sir. Right behind the T-ball field, that big old grassy area.
Right at the T-ball field going out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where we had a football camp this past weekend out there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't cost a lot in land. It's pretty flat out there. You'd have to go ahead and level it out, but it wouldn't take much to level that land out.
Another question. These fence lights, bleachers and all this, $350,000. The quote you got, was that installation or is that just a price?
No, that was quoted for installation and everything. That was the whole shebang.
So you're talking directly off the T-ball field. On the original map that was presented as the city park final draft, it called for 2 multi-purpose fields in that area. So where or exactly are you talking about this field being?
The one that was closest to the running track, that would be the perfect area to put a football size field.
So closer to the creek.
Yeah. Now you could move that up if need be and move it closer to the playground and kind of flip it, make it go horizontal instead of vertical, and you can do it that way as well. That's the way I saw it at first, but when I saw the plan that he sent me, I was like, okay, they already got it on there, you know.
The only reason I said that, the area you had your football camp in this weekend was up on the backfield area.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's already somewhat level in backfield and
right.
higher.
That was where my initial idea, before I saw that plan, that's where I would like to have it, and then put a sidewalk going up behind the T-ball field and straight to your ticket booth. That's where I would like to see it, you know. So I mean, that plan can be tweaked, but like I said, they had already had the multi-purpose field there. But yeah, I would like to see it up on that, right beside that playground, going horizontal instead of vertical. That's where I would like to see it. And then you run straight into your ticket booths and your new bathrooms.
So where did you said the quote came from where?
I'd have to look up the guy's name. He's out of Smithville, Tennessee. I called him just for the fencing, but he's a all-around contractor, and he called basically the company that does the bleachers, and they're kind of like do-it-yourself bleachers in a way. They're just all galvanized. So I mean, we're paying for most of it's material, and I forgot to say, that would seat 1,000 people. That would seat 1,000 people. That would seat 600 on the home side and 400 on the away side.
Do you think we need that many bleachers? I mean, just for youth football and soccer? Before
COVID, we would have in attendance probably about 500 people. That was before COVID. And now that our community is growing and more people are moving here, I can see it I can see it close to that number being in attendance, especially like a Gordonsville game. They'll pack the high school stadium out. They'll pack it out. And this is it. This is playing 3 different games, flag, junior, and senior.
Mayor, you got any comments on this?
Well, I thought it was an interesting proposal and it kind of goes along with our master plan. As he and I already discussed, having work out more details, but we thought he could come here tonight, present his initial idea, see what questions were, and then work on it as we go forward to kind of give a more fleshed out proposal.
Question for the mayor. Do we still have any money left in the CARES Act that we could spend on this, or any of the CARES Act or whatever we had? Do we have any money left?
Not in the CARES Act. We only got, the only thing we got from the CARES Act was for the Sheriff's Department EMA.
Okay.
And we pretty much used that up.
For rescue?
There may be some for the rescue funds. However, you're starting to encroach in an area where you've got 2 point something left, and we're looking at a mental health and substance abuse counseling, some small business assistance that we're looking at going. Now he's talked about doing fundraising. There may be an opportunity to do like a 50-50 group match or something like that, depending on what kind of fundraising he can do. That's why I'd like to give it a little bit more time. Let's work on it a little bit more in depth and kind of see what kind of proposal we can work out before we start looking at, you know, what's going to be county, what's going to be this or anything like that. But so again, I think it's an interesting proposal. It kind of goes along with the multi-use field that was in the master plan, which was public input and everything. So again, I'd like to look at it. There are some funds there, to answer your question. There are some funds that can be used, but we've got some things coming down the pike. We'll be bringing a county commission, so I'm not sure what those amounts are going to be.
Mr. Rivers.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any guess or how much you think you could raise toward this?
I would say within a year, just the youth football, and this is without doing anything else, we could come up with 50,000 within a year. Just us as a small program. That's putting in a lot of footwork, a lot of leg work within a year. A lot of fundraising. We're having a fundraiser come up on May 7th. It's our first time doing this. We're going to see how it starts. Now, another thing I told him, even if we put a fence up, which the fence is 20,000, if we only put a fence up, we can kind of start a small program from the ground up if we have somewhere to play. And that right there is another avenue to make money and another avenue to raise money. Now, I haven't been to the banks yet to talk to them about this, but that is my next step, to see if they would be willing to sponsor a large amount for 2 to 3 programs here in town. Like you said, this is just a ground floor proposal with more details to come. I had this big PowerPoint I was working on and was going to bring it, but I've been swamped this week with T-ball, and y'all know how that goes. So yeah, that's my next step. I know, like I said, I think youth football, just as our small program, can come up with 50,000 within a year. And then from there, go to talk to the banks about larger sums, see if they want to be sponsors of this.
Anybody else got any questions?
So were you looking at talking to the banks in a year, or are you looking at talking to them pretty soon to see what they're?
Pretty soon. Relatively quick to go and talk to them. Sorry. Yeah, relatively quick to go and talk to them about this and see if that is a possibility, to try to get our local banks to be sponsors.
Understood. I mean, this might be a good opportunity for First National because they are new in town and they are trying to win favor. And at the same time, Wilson Bank and Trust is kind of like Budweiser. They'll sponsor anything. So it wouldn't hurt to talk to both of them, to be honest with you.
Well, I know they did. I asked them for a very small amount for our to sponsor our fundraiser coming up. And like I said, it was a very small amount, and they hopped right on it. So I know this would be a very, very large sum, but if I could get, so half of 350, if I could get half of that to go between both First National and Wilson, and then we could see if the county would take care of the rest.
You're proposing that maybe you could raise the 175,000, the county take the other 175.
Yes, that's my proposal.
How quick do you think you could have numbers from the bank and bring it back to us and see what they would do? And then maybe when's the start? August, youth football?
Yeah, we start in August. We've always played on the high school field, but it's been a tussle trying to get in and out of there. Sometimes we don't get to play depending on field conditions, this, that, and the third. When's y'all's next meeting? Y'all meet monthly? Okay. I could be talking with the bank next week. I could be at one of their desks next Monday with an answer to the mayor quickly.
I don't see there's anything be done on it this year, I don't think. But if we could maybe wait till July, August, give you some more time to see how much money you could raise or whatever, and then we have a meeting somewhere along then and you come back with your proposal. Would that be all right with you?
That sounds great. Like I said, this is just getting our program and other programs foot in the door, just trying to get more information. I know this isn't an overnight build, and even if we started construction 2 years from now, you know, I'd be happy, you know, just so we can get the ball rolling. Even if it took us that long to get an answer and get a good to go, I would be happy for our youth and happy for our park. We would have one of the nicest parks in Middle Tennessee for a small county if we were to do this, and it would draw a lot of more people, even though people are moving in left and right. So yeah, that's fine. I can have you a lot more information in July. I'll have a whole PowerPoint worked up, and we'll get it rock and rolling.
We'll schedule a meeting probably sometime in July. The mayor can get in contact with you and let you know or when the meeting will be.
Okay.
But we appreciate you doing what you do. What the fundraising for the youth football now, where's it go? Just to help offset the cost for the equipment and stuff now that the kids use?
Yeah, so we're having our last fundraiser May 7th. And with us tripling our numbers from last year, we have to restock on helmets. And one helmet's $300. So I think we're about to spend about anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 on helmets, which is a great thing. You know, it's a wonderful thing. Kids are getting out. They're wanting to sign up. They're wanting to play with their buddies, which is awesome. So, yeah, we got one more fundraiser to do. And whatever we have left over, we're going to save so we can hopefully get this state-of-the-art facility built for us. Oh, yeah. May 7th down here at the park. If Mother Nature stays clean for us and we're good, we're going to have what we call Family Fun Day. We're going to have bouncy houses set up, Dunkin' booths. We have a silent auction going on, did I say cakewalk? Silent auction, cakewalk. And then from 4 p.m. till dark, a company's coming in. They're putting on a wrestling show for us. So we're going to have concessions, just for a time for kids to get out of the house, go down there, jump around, have fun. Parents to come down there, listen to music, try to win some prizes. The Tennessee Titans just donated us a awesome signed autograph picture by A.J. Brown that we're going to be able to auction off. So we got a lot of good items. A lot of people in the community, a lot of businesses have donated a lot of great things to our silent auction. And then people are ringing my phone left and right trying to get to donate cakes. So we're going to have fun. It's going to be a fun day. We want everybody to come out. Like I said, as long as the weather's good, we're going to have a fun day. And that's May the 7th. We're going to start at 10 a.m.
I think I saw that there's a $10 admission for all day.
Yeah, $10 admission all day. That covers everything. That covers your bouncy houses, your admission, and your admission to the wrestling show. The only thing that you'll have to pay for is if you want to, I think it's a dollar for 3 balls for the Dunkin' booth, and then I think it's $25 for the cakewalk, and then if you buy food at the concessions. Other than that, we're going to have cornhole out there, go out there, play, have fun, $10 all day. I think, and kids 5 and under are free.
Does youth football have a board, or is it just you? Or?
We have a board. I'm the president of the board. And then we have the vice president. His name's Justin Hull. Vice president of just football be Dustin Marr. Vice president of cheerleading is Kristen Oldham. Our secretary is Whitney Presley. Our fundraising / concessions coordinator, if you want to call it, is my wife, Katie Rivers. And then Michael Satterfield is just an all-around helper of the board. He's one of our members, and he's also a coach. The Youth Football League used to not have a board. I'm trying to make it a little bit more organized to try to make sure it runs smoothly, because it's not a one-man operation.
I appreciate, everything you're doing, and it sounds good. If we could come up with the money and do that, I think it would be something that would be beneficial. I mean, I got a grandson who's playing in youth football, and I saw pictures. It looks like a good turnout down there y'all had for the camp and stuff. I mean, the cheerleaders and the players. I mean, I think it's a good thing. Has anybody else got any questions for Mr. Rivers before we move on?
I just hate to see it drag out too long, because as we know, the longer it drags out, the price is going to go up exponentially. So try and keep those numbers good. We probably should move quicker than not.
And if we're able to get this quickly, we don't play over there right now. So there's nothing that says we can't start construction once we get money in hand. So we're playing on the high school field right now. That's where we've always played. It would give the boys an incentive, like, hey, I'm going to play over here, and I'm going to one day play on the creek bank. And then we can play all our games on, youth football field. And then for homecoming, we can go over there. It'd be something special for them. Thank y'all for having me.
All righty, let's move up to number 3, old business. I got listed ballpark lights follow up. If you got anything to follow up, the mayor, on that?
I believe we have ordered those, and as of today, I think we have probably somewhere between 14 to 16 weeks for delivery. When they initially ordered it, I think it was 16 to 18 weeks. So I think it was a couple of weeks ago when I spoke to Cliff. So it should be about 14 to 16 at this point.
That lights and poles.
My understanding, that's everything.
Anything else need to be discussed on this? Any questions for the mayor? All right, we'll move in B, the pool season. I see Cliff's not here, but his helper's here. Maybe she can give us an update. If anybody's got any questions, that's one reason we have the meeting, make sure everything's still on where the pool is going to be open this time.
Well, hello. Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm Cliff's assistant. Our pool season, so far, we have spent $3,115.71 for our chemicals. I've got all the lifeguards on hand to take their lifeguard tests starting Saturday. They'll finish up Sunday at Jimmy Floyd. We've got 3 assistant managers hired and a manager. Now, our manager this year will not be there as much. She has something else she's committed to, but she's going to be there after 4 in the evenings, and she's going to help with all the pool parties. our concessions are gonna have to go up this year. I mean, with the price increase and everything, we're gonna have to go up at least 50 cents to $1 on the items. Starting next week, Cliff's gonna drain the pool and refill it, and it should be ready by the end of the week. And we are going to open on May 21st. That is all I have. If anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
So if we set a date for, in the past, we've had like an open Saturday, that first Saturday for folks to come in and buy their season passes, that kind of thing. We got that idea in the workings there for that 21st, or?
I have not got that far. I apologize. This is my very first go around with this. I am learning every day of things that need to be done. So we will get that worked out where everybody can get their passes.
Yeah, like I said, they usually do it that open and set that day, opening day, and then they usually try to sell the season passes that day or whatever. Are we going to try to keep the prices of the pool parties and all that is the same as we've had in the past?
Yes, sir. The price of the pool parties will be the same. I've already booked several. So we're going to keep that the same. The only thing Cliff mentioned was the concession prices, that they would need to go up 50 cents to $1 per item.
Can you tell me, Tracy, what our pool parties, the prices are, and the prices of admission and season passes?
Yes, ma'am. The pool parties are for 2 hours. If you have under 50 people, it's $100. And if you have over 50 people, it's $150. The difference being under 50, you get 2 lifeguards, over 50, you get 3. If you want a 3-hour party, that's $175, and that kind of falls in the over 50. You can have quite a few there. 2 and under are free. 3 and up is $5 per person. Individual season passes are $65, and oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. $65. A family season pass, which would be 2 adults and up to 4 children living in the same household, is $175. After the 4th child, it's $20 per child. $20 per additional child.
Under 5 years old is free. Is that what you said? 0 to 2, okay.
So the 3 assistant managers and 1 manager, that's enough to take care of the management side of it?
Yes, sir. It was quite a task, but I got it done.
How many lifeguards do we have at the present time? I mean, that are hired. I know they've still got to be certified, but how many do we have?
We've had a few drop off this week, but I still have 12. And one of my assistant managers is also a certified lifeguard. So need be, we could pull her.
So 12 is enough to take care of the pool season. I mean, for every day.
Cliff asked for 13 and I had 14 and I've lost 2. So I think with the 12 and having that 1 assistant manager that has her lifeguard certificate, I think we will be okay.
Was we still gonna do the one night, what was it, Tuesday night for the adult, or for like 6 to 9 or whatever the time?
I can check into that. I'm not sure I've heard anything about an adult night. Is that what you're?
Yes, well, I'll give people that works late the chance to use the pool. So I mean, one night in the, afternoon.
One night a week, you're saying 6 to 9. I don't think that would be a problem. I mean, the kids that I've hired under Mr. Salih's direction seem to be very eager to work. So I'm excited about this group of young people.
Out of those 12 lifeguards, is that counting the 2 that still had their certification from last year?
No, sir. No, sir. I apologize. I forgot about that. That makes me have 14. I'm sending 12 to school. Correct, 14 and a half.
Do y'all think we do need to do that one night of the week? Opening 6 to 9. Was it 6 to 9 or 6 to 10 or was it what? No, was it Tuesday or Wednesday night? Or? Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's a good thing. We need to try to do that again this year, probably.
If I'm not mistaken, the pool was open until 5 and then had a break for an hour there and then reopened at 6, just like the pool party time would usually be slot. Is that correct? Straight through? Okay.
The hours I have from previous years is Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5, with Tuesday being open 10 to 10. It doesn't say anything about a break. And then Sunday, of course, is 1 to 5.
That's what I was checking on, that Tuesday 10 to 10. Yes, it will. That'd be good if we can do that again this year too.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure that works out.
It'll be 10 o'clock instead of 9, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's what you're saying. Okay.
According to this, yes, if that's the way y'all want to keep it, we can keep it that way.
I was gonna say, let's put it in a motion, form of a motion that we keep our hours the way we had our hours in the last year it was open, which is when we had that set of hours. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I got a motion to keep the hours like there was that she just mentioned from last year. And I have a second by Mr. Taylor. Any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? So we'll keep the hours you just mentioned there then if we can. Has anybody else got any questions? What was it, Tracy? Tracy. Anybody else got any questions for Tracy in regards to the pool?
One question, you mentioned pool chemicals. Do we feel like we have chemicals purchased for the year?
Let me get here. Well, I mean, we've purchased 150 pounds of the chlorine tablets. So I would say that would, do you? Okay. I don't know, you were shaking your head at me. And we've purchased 10 of the 50-pound chlorine granular. It looks like he's pretty well stocked.
Well, I think everybody's excited about getting the pool open back this year after the couple of years we've been through. So I think it's going to be I think everybody's excited about it, and it'll be a good thing for the kids this summer.
You mentioned the concessions. Do we need to look at concessions cost and discussion there, or do we need to just turn that over to them to take care of those costs?
In the past, we've always left it up to Cliff and his
Perfect.
staff to do that. And I'm just speaking from experience. And they just manage by whatever it costs and just raise it. It's never been expensive.
Only reason I was, usually Cliff would come to us and say, here's what the costs are going to be in the Parks and Rec Committee, and say, here's what our costs are going to be. And we would say, go with that piece. That's all the reason I asked that.
Do y'all think we need to have another meeting in the May, right time of the proper time of post fixing to open, or okay? So at the end of the meeting, we'll get us meeting date set for sometime right there in the May, right before the pool does open. So you say May 21st is what we're scheduled for right now. So we'll try to have a meeting that week right before that then.
Yes, sir, because he's not purchased anything for the concessions yet, so we have no idea what that's going to cost.
Tracy, I'd just like to say thank you. Appreciate those numbers and the pieces we're doing. I know it's new, but hey, look forward to continuing to work with you in the future with this piece.
Thank you so much. Cliff will be here next time.
Hey, you did a great job. Thank you. Like I said, thank you again. Else got anything for her? We appreciate you filling in for Cliff. Cliff just called. He said if we had anything for him, we could call him. Right, it was him I was on the phone with her. So, but I told him she was doing a great job. All right, and the next thing I got under old business is Trey Park. Any updates on Trey Park?
We're continuing discussions with TDEC. We still haven't signed a grant contract yet. They did complete the environmental review of the park, and they looked through databases, and the only things that popped up were the old Gregory cleaners down here. Since it's a dry cleaner, they regulate some of the chemicals they use. And then when the Phillips 66 was over here before they turned it into the community center, they listed that there was underground tanks there that got taken out, but that's the only thing that showed up. They do it within a quarter of a mile of your site. So those are the only things that showed up. But as far as the park itself, they found no environmental issues there. So it passed their environmental review. So we're continuing forward there. We have been in discussions with them. As you know, we just increased our match that we did with them, $25,000 this past Monday. Been in further discussions with them. There might be a chance there that they'll increase it above that. And some of the money that we've already allocated, they'll consider that a match on our side, and they may be willing to increase what they're going to contribute. So hopefully we'll be able to get more money from them without requiring any further additional money from us. So we're in those discussions right now. They were trying to set up a time to come down here and meet with us and tour Trey Park and kind of all of us talk about it together, but I don't have a date for that yet.
Who was it you were talking with about this?
It's Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. They're a grant. I can't remember his actual official title. Okay. It's grant specialist or something like that.
I thought you had said TDEC. That's all I was making sure.
Yeah. There's actually two people with TDEC we're working on. And one of them is actually a grant specialist, and the other one deals with parks and whatnot. And that's Mr. Jackson that we've dealt with before. They've had some staff turnover, so that's resulted in a little bit of delay on some things. And also the environmental review, this is the first time they've ever done that. And it took about 3 or 4 months longer than they anticipated it would. So that drug it out a little bit further.
You mentioned a match towards other monies we've allocated. What other monies are we speaking of that we've allocated?
The $100,000 for the rubber mulch. We're looking at that, seeing, well, we went over in the meeting with them, and I told them all the allocations and things were done and the projects we're taking on right now. And they were really pleased with that. They were really pleased to hear about the safety surfacing. They were very pleased to hear about improving and doing the repairs on the equipment. And so they said, since we've shown such a dedication to repairing the issues out there based on the safety audit, and they've been out there look at the park themselves. And actually the TDEC employee who toured the park is now the supervisor over all this. So they were very familiar with the park. They were very impressed with what we've done to try to improve the issues out there. And so they're looking to see if maybe there's some other monies out there that they could put and increase their part to match what we've already allocated. And so and this is just for sake of argument. Let's say they're able to match our $100,000 that we've already allocated. That would take the project cost from the original 188 up to 388. So they were really hoping to, in their discussion, they want to see it that we can do it and improve the park and get as close to it all completely improved in one shot as we can. So again, we're working with them on a date that they can come down here and we can tour it and kind of all get on the same page and discuss it. But as of right now, I don't have a date for that yet.
Do we know when the parts are coming in for the playground? I've had questions about that. When it was going to open?
We've ordered it, but we haven't been given a delivery date for that yet. I think we ordered it, is it 2 weeks ago, Tracy? Yeah, because I know the day after we allocated the funds, I signed the purchase order and we executed that, but we haven't been given a delivery date yet.
Mr. Mayor, are they looking at doing those improvements with the mulch and stuff at the time that they do the renovation of the playground equipment, do it all in one move?
Well, the playground equipment is separate from the mulch. Right now, we want to do the repairs first and then look at it. And if TDEC does increase their thing, it seems like the mulch and everything will now become part of the grant. And that's where we'll get that other extra $100,000. So that's why I'm eager to get them down here and discuss it more a little bit face to face. So we have, everybody's able to look at it and discuss exactly what their thoughts are, what our thoughts are, and get on the same page. So hopefully when we get a date, I would like at least one member, if you're available, it'll probably be sometime during the day, to come down there with us and look at it so you can hear it directly from them. But I was very surprised when they put forth that possibility of that the state would put in more money to meet what we've already done. But like I said, I sent them a copy of the budget amendments we've done, the purchase order for the equipment, all that stuff. And they were very impressed that we're committed to getting the trade park issues resolved.
I just like to have something moving and something done in the next 6 months. I mean, what kind of time frame are we looking at? A year out, 6 months out, 2 months? I mean, we need to get something moving. I mean, I guess we had to wait on them for the part. I mean, we don't.
Well, until we sign a grant contract, any money we spend is our money. We don't get reimbursed for it. And as far as what they do, some of these projects, this grant has a life cycle, and it may not be our project, but a total life cycle, it can go up to 3 years. I'm hoping ours is not that. Ours is not nearly in depth to some of the other projects they've done, because it could be used to construct a brand new park, but that's not our project. So I don't have a date when we're going to be able to sign the grant application or the grant itself, the grant contract, because we're still hoping to get them down here and tour it and see if we can get additional funding. So I don't have an exact date when that's going to happen. Trust me, I'd rather it be moving along too, but like these grants, until you sign the grant contract, any money you spend, you do not get reimbursed on.
Anybody else got any comments or questions for the mayor on this?
You said you'd like to have some member. I can meet with them any day. I'm available. I don't know if anybody else could or not, but I can.
Well, like I said, when we get a date, and I know it'll be down here during the day and not everybody's available during the day. So we get a date, I'll pass that along and see if we can get that all aligned. But like I said, right now, I don't have an idea when that date's going to be.
If that's all, we'll move on to the next item. Number 5, other business. Any other business need to be brought up tonight? Anybody got any other business? If not, we'll move on to number 6. Anybody in the public got a comment? Nobody? I guess before we adjourn, we need to try to set a date there in May, right there before the pool opening. Let's look at our calendars and see what you think might be a good date right before May 21st. May's gonna be a busy month. What about May the 19th? That's that Thursday before the 21st. Is that too? We got budget and finance and work session that night on the 16th. Yeah, we can do it on a Wednesday if everybody's good with that.
You may want to hold on to that. I think somebody was sending me something today about May 18th, but I'm not sure if that's during the day or at night.
What about May 19th? Well, I mean, I need to schedule a meeting for 7 o'clock anyway. I'm pressing to get here at 6 on meetings because I don't get off to 4:45 now.
What that is on the 18th, the Water Utility Board is looking to hold a kind of workshop to discuss their 20-year plan from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I think that May the 19th on the Thursday night at 7 o'clock is good for me. If it's good for y'all, I mean, 7 o'clock's a better time for me. I'm getting pressed to be here at 6 on my meetings. Is that good with everybody if that's open? Let's go ahead and schedule our next parks meeting in for May the 19th. That'd be right 2 days before the pool does open to make sure everything is good to go. 7 o'clock, May the 19th here at the courthouse. That's all I've got. I have a motion to adjourn. Mr. Taylor make a motion to adjourn, second by Richard Johnson. Thank y'all for coming. See y'all May 21st, May 19th.